Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into one of the most compelling and, well, for many, pretty unsettling mysteries of the universe. It's this question that, keeps scientists and thinkers up at night. In a universe just teeming with billions of galaxies, each with billions of stars, countless planets, why have we heard absolutely nothing? Why is space just so profoundly, utterly silent? Our deep dive today explores this really chilling possibility that the silence isn't because there's no life out there, but maybe because, well, maybe everyone is hiding.
Yeah, and our exploration of this cosmic puzzle, it really starts with a deceptively simple yet really profound question from the physicist Enrico Fermi back in the 1950s. He just asked, where is everybody?
Right. Simple question, huge implications.
Exactly. And for those of you who've thought about this, our sources really hammer home just how stark this question is when you consider the sheer scale of the universe. I mean, we're talking over 200 billion galaxies. Each one has hundreds of billions of stars.
It's almost impossible to really picture that.
It is. And the data suggests most of those stars have planets. Many of those could potentially support life. So you have this overwhelming statistical likelihood of life, contrasted with this stark, just deafening cosmic silence we've actually observed. And that contrast, that's what we call the Fermi Paradox.
Okay, so the Fermi Paradox highlights this weird silence, what could actually explain it. This cosmic quiet. It's led to some, frankly, pretty unsettling theories. One of the most talked about, I think, is the dark force theory. It was popularized by Lou Sixson's novel, The Three-Body Problem. And the idea is, well, imagine the universe isn't empty space, but a vast dark forest. And every civilization is like a silent hunter, just tiptoeing through the trees, absolutely terrified to make a sound.
Yeah, the core logic of that theory is chillingly simple, really. If you make noise, you risk being discovered.
Okay.
Once you're found, you become incredibly vulnerable. The rationale is cold. It's almost like a cosmic survival game.
Yeah.
You have no way of knowing if another civilization is friendly or hostile.
Right, you just can't know.
You can't know. You don't know what weapons they might have or what their real intentions are. So given these vast distances and no real way to build trust, the safest, most rational move for any civilization, well, it's to eliminate the other one before they can eliminate you.
That's grim.
It is. The theory forces us to consider this chilling possibility that in the cosmos, maybe neutrality just doesn't exist. Every unknown neighbor is a potential existential threat. So in a universe like that, silence isn't just golden. It's absolutely key to survival.
That's a truly bleak thought, though. But, I mean, what about the idea that maybe advanced civilizations might be inherently benevolent, or at least, less aggressive? Does the dark forest idea allow for that at all?
It's definitely leaning toward the pessimistic side, you know. The theory fundamentally assumes a universe driven by this survival imperative. Resources are finite, intentions are unknowable. So even if one civilization is benevolent, they just can't assume others are.
Okay, so the risk is too high.
The risk of just one hostile civilization out there somewhere kind of forces everyone else to act defensively or maybe even preemptively. So, yeah, even a genuinely peaceful civilization might be forced to hide, or possibly worse, just to make sure they survive.
And this is where it gets really unsettling for us, right? Because for over a century now, humanity has basically been broadcasting its presence. Our electromagnetic footprint, from early radio TV signals, it's like this expanding bubble pushing out through the galaxy. And it's not just accidental noise either. We've sent intentional messages, haven't we? Like the Voyager Golden Record, which basically acts like a cosmic map saying, here we are, pointing right towards solar system.
Exactly. So if we take that dark forest metaphor, humanity isn't just walking around making a little noise in the woods. No, we're essentially shouting, hello, we're here. This is where we live.
Yeah.
And according to this theory, that kind of behavior, well, it could be seen as incredibly reckless. A profound gamble, really, on the kindness of cosmic strangers.
A gamble. And speaking of rational choices and big gambles, that leads us right into cosmic game theory, doesn't it? Specifically, the prisoner's dilemma.
Yeah.
For people maybe not familiar with game theory, it's a classic scenario, but could you maybe just briefly explain it?
Sure. Basically, imagine two suspects are arrested.
Right.
They're held separately, can't talk to each other. The police offer each one a deal. Betray the other, and you go free while the other gets a long sentence. If both betray, they both get a moderate sentence. If both stay silent, they both get a very short sentence. The rational move for self-preservation, even though cooperating is better for both, is often to betray the other one, because you can't trust them.
Right. The lack of trust is key.
Exactly.
Right.
Now, scale that up. Think civilizations separated by light years. There's no trust, no prior knowledge, definitely no second chances if you guess wrong. The rational choice, or what some sources call the dominant strategy, it becomes shoot first.
Shoot first.
Yeah. Because even a signal that looks peaceful, it could be bait, a lure, a distraction. In that vast, dark forest, the rule is clear. You have to assume the worst, or you risk everything. It suggests even just wanting contact is inherently dangerous.
Okay, so if making noise is potentially deadly in this dark forest scenario,
Mhm.
what if the really advanced civilizations have just figured out how to disappear, how to
Mhm.
hide effectively? I know modern astronomers are actively looking for techno-signatures, right? These kind of indirect signs of alien tech.
That's right.
What sort of things are they looking for?
Well, things like excess waste heat, the kind that might leak from truly massive structures like Dyson spheres.
Those hypothetical megastructures around a star.
Exactly, where a civilization might try to capture almost all of a star's energy, or maybe unusual light patterns from distant stars that just don't seem natural. And then there are things like fast radio bursts, FRBs, these incredibly powerful, very short bursts of energy. They're so precise, some have wondered if they could be artificial, not just, cosmic static.
Right, those are still largely unexplained.
Very much so. And this all raises a really important question. What if advanced civilizations have actually mastered the art of hiding?
How they even do that?
Well, maybe they cloak their energy use somehow, or they make their signals look like natural cosmic background noise, effective camouflage on a planetary or even stellar scale.
Mm-hmm.
They might be out there carefully avoiding being detected. Maybe avoiding us, or maybe avoiding something else out there that they're afraid of.
Okay, that's another layer entirely. Hiding from other hiders. But what if the silence isn't about hiding from aggression? What if it's about discretion? Or even a specific policy? This brings us to another idea, maybe a bit less terrifying, the zoo hypothesis.
Right, the zoo hypothesis. It suggests that, yes, alien civilizations probably know we're here. They're watching us.
Watching us, like literally.
Well, maybe not literally peering through telescopes constantly, but aware of our existence. And the key part is, they've consciously chosen not to interfere. Kind of like researchers observing animals in a huge nature reserve. They watch, they study, but they don't step in.
So where they exhibit.
In a way, yeah. This offers a uniquely disempowering view, perhaps, but maybe also a bit comforting. We might be living in this carefully managed cosmic preserve. Our evolution is observed, not messed with.
Why would they do that, though? Why not just say hello?
Well, the theory proposes a few reasons. Maybe it's to let us evolve naturally, without outside influence messing things up, or maybe to avoid the massive cultural shock that contact would inevitably cause for us, maybe for them too. Or perhaps simply they think we're not ready yet.
Not ready. Judged by whom?
Exactly. In this scenario, Earth is kind of framed as this galactic quarantine zone. Maybe only when we demonstrate, sustained peace and maturity, maybe then we'd be deemed worthy of contact.
Or maybe never.
Or maybe never.
Okay, so we're either hidden, hiding from others, hiding from us, or we're being watched like cosmic zoo animals. But what about those weird things that sometimes happen? Anomalies. Some people point to these as maybe hints of alien surveillance or even attempted contact. Like there's the famous, wow, signal, right? That incredibly strong unexplained radio signal from 1977, still baffling people.
It is a genuine scientific puzzle.
And then there was Oumuamua, that interstellar object that zipped through our solar system a few years back. Its movement was odd. It accelerated in a way that wasn't easily explained by gravity alone, leading some serious scientists to at least speculate about artificial origins, though that's heavily debated.
Heavily debated is right. A fascinating object, but extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, as they say.
And of course, you hear constantly about thousands of unexplained aerial phenomena, UAPs, often called UFOs. Many reports now coming from credible sources like military pilots, radar systems.
Yeah, the data there is certainly becoming more public and harder to dismiss outright as just misidentification in all cases. But the critical question remains, are any of these things definitive signs of intelligent contact? Or are they natural phenomena we just don't understand yet? Or perhaps even advanced human tech?
So it's intriguing, but not proof.
Exactly. It's crucial to distinguish between an unexplained observation and solid proof of extraterrestrial intelligence. We really don't know for sure what the ultimate origin of these things is. But, in a universe this silent, where we're straining to hear anything, Even whispers get our attention. They ignite our imaginations.
Okay. So what does all this mean for us then, for humanity sitting here on Earth? Let's maybe flip the script for a second. This is a bit uncomfortable, but
Yeah,
what if we are the dangerous ones?
that's a possibility that has to be considered, doesn't it?
I mean, if you take even a brief look at human history, there's a pretty significant pattern of conflict, war, exploitation, environmental destruction.
It's not exactly a stellar track record, viewed from the outside, perhaps.
Okay.
So it's not unthinkable that any advanced civilizations observing us, maybe studying our history from afar, they might have looked at all that and decided, you know what, it's probably best just to steer clear, avoid contact.
So the silence could be protective, but for them, not for us.
It's a sobering thought, but yes,
Yeah.
the silence we perceive might actually be their way of staying safe from us.
Wow. Okay. This whole conversation, it inevitably leads to some really profound philosophical questions, doesn't it? Like, what does it actually mean to be alone in the cosmos? Or maybe worse, to be intentionally avoided. Is the silence we're experiencing? Is it like a warning sign telling us to be cautious? Or is it an invitation sort of challenging us to reach out? Should humanity keep shouting into the void like we've been doing, making our presence known? Or should we,
Yeah.
maybe just shut up and listen quietly for a while?
Yeah, these are huge questions. And the universe, well, it doesn't know us any easy answers.
Yeah.
But the silence itself, it means something. You just don't know precisely what. It could imply that humanity is incredibly rare. Or maybe we're just early to the party, cosmically speaking. Or maybe we're just dangerously naive about the way things work out there. It could mean we're part of something vastly larger than we can currently comprehend. Or it could mean we are genuinely, uniquely alone.
Either way.
Either way you slice it, this cosmic silence, it really demands a deep sense of humility from us, and it invites some serious strategic thinking about our place in our future.
So, given all these possibilities, all these theories, the sources we looked at seem to outline three main paths humanity could think about taking moving forward.
That's right. They basically boil down to three broad strategies. The first path is pretty much what we're doing now. Keep broadcasting, keep announcing our presence, sending out signals, essentially hoping that if someone hears us, they turn out to be friendly. Benevolent,
The optimistic approach.
you could call it that.
Mhm.
Or perhaps the naive one, depending on your view of the dark forest. The second path is the opposite. Go silent. Intentionally withdraw. Try to hide our presence as much as possible. Prioritize listening, gathering information, rather than speaking.
Become one of the quiet hunters ourselves.
Potentially. And the third path is, well, to prepare. Actively advance our own defenses, study the cosmos as deeply as we can, try to understand potential threats and opportunities, and basically expect that contact, if it comes, might not be friendly. Prepare for conflict,
Yeah.
essentially.
Wow. Keep shouting, go silent, or prepare for the worst. Each of those choices really says something profound about who we are as a species, doesn't it? And maybe who we hope or fear we might meet out there in that vast, quiet expanse. So in this deep dive, we've journeyed through the profound silence of the cosmos. We've touched on the truly haunting implications of the dark forest theory, where just staying quiet is survival, all the way to the intriguing, maybe slightly unnerving possibilities of the zoo hypothesis, where we might just be a species under observation. This journey, it really shows that the universe's quietude, it offers up far more questions than it does answers, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And perhaps a final thought for you to ponder, drawing from the silence itself. In the dark forest of the cosmos, perhaps the quietest voice is, in fact, the wisest. We should definitely encourage continued curiosity, keep exploring, keep listening. But maybe also temper that with a healthy dose of caution and some really deep strategic reflection about our next steps.